Good evening, everybody. This is V from the Q Kitchen. Actually, this is V from Beyond the Q Kitchen. We are in the Q Kitchen. However, I don't know what my little dog's doing. He's gone crazy. Anyways, I wanted to show you. These are Loofah Seeds, which I got from the magnificent Elisa. I hope I said that right, sweetie. Over at Sutton's Daze. That's S like a snake, UTTONS, Daze. DAZE. Anyways, you should go and follow her, or at least go check out her channel, because she's just awesome. And she was awesome enough to send me a rather large collection of loofah seeds that somebody had given her. Will they grow? I don't know, but we're about to find out. So come on as we kick this Q into high gear and find ourselves an answer. Can we grow loofah seeds in Spokane, Washington? Now we begin our journey. Now these have been soaking for about 6 hours in a solution of 1 part peroxide and 3 parts water. They're not soaking very well because all they want to do is float. So what I'm going to do is try a little experiment. We're going to put those seeds into these cups wrapped in that paper towel, and then we're going to pour the peroxide solution over them and see if we can get them to germinate. So let's get started. Alright, so in order to make it a little easier, I went ahead and did the cups and the steps I'm going to do. So first, of course, is get your planting container. Now, loofahs, from what I've heard from Kevin at Epic Gardening and the Stivers off of Stiver's Homestead, and a few others. Those are the main two. These don't like to be transplanted. So as soon as they germinate, I'm going to need to put them into the grow box. Actually, I'll probably just cover them up with my potting soil, and when they get a little bigger, the shoots get a little bigger, I'll probably just cut the bottom off of these little cups and put them right in there. We'll figure that out a little later down the road. Anyways, first, get your container. Nice, clean container. Second, you're going to put a little square of paper towels. Then you're going to put this seed on the bottom paper towel. Then you're going to cover it up with a second paper towel to make sure it gets moisture on the top and bottom. Then you're going to pour your 1 part peroxide and 3 parts, 1 part peroxide and 3 parts water over top of the seed so that it's moist like it's being soaked. Then you're going to put a little lid onto the cup and put the cup in a nice warm place so it can germinate. Now, not all of those seeds are obviously going to go in this bucket. And technically, they don't need light to germinate. However, I have had some sneaky snooks popping up at all kinds of crazy hours in my garden. Case in point. You see that little thing? Yeah. That wasn't there this morning. And I don't even remember it being there this afternoon. But there it is. A little sneaky snook. And that's just my Aunt Ruby's German green tomato seedling. This is my daughter's pumpkin, again, the one that's actually successful. He's actually had the light on him for 6 hours, and then he was out in the nice sunshine for about 5 hours, so that's why he's resting right now. The same goes with the mystery thing that's crawling up the stick. Still haven't figured out what this guy is, but he came up as a volunteer. There were 50 of them. Well, 52, but 2 of them weren't really viable. That I replanted, and this is the only one that survived. Considering that the others I put into containers, I actually put them in my solo cups over there, and they were doing great until I tried to put them into the actual soil, because I tried to plant them back over here, and that's when they died. So this one was the big one, so I put him directly in the pot. So technically, he's not really been transplanted that much, which, along with the fact that he's climbing up the pole, makes me think it's some kind of bean, maybe? I have no idea. If anybody knows what this is, please put a comment down below. But a lot of those right there popped up overnight when they came up. So I put the lights on them as soon as I caught them. There we go. I think that's my okra. I'm not really sure. I do not see anything there that really looks like my daughter Maggie's, her little yellow mini watermelon. I don't think they germinated. So we're going to try that again a little later today. I did bottom water them. Those are just the mosquito bits. And they seem to work a lot better. The mosquito bits work better in the smaller cups than they do the big pots. So, don't know why. It's just the way it is. These are some potatoes that I put in there on, I believe it was February. Yes, it was February 1st. I planted those potatoes. I planted 3 of them. It seems like only one came up because there was one there, one where I planted the radish head here, and then there was another one right there. Well, yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there. I think my little dog dug something up. These right here popped up again. That's one of my tomatoes, my German green tomatoes. This little guy, he's not doing so good. I don't know what he is, but actually his head's been taken off. So we'll take him out. And another case in point, I don't know if you can see it, but that little guy wasn't there this morning. These popped up yesterday morning. I noticed them. Don't know what they are. Some kind of volunteer that was in my my mix. Now that's potting soil mixed with some of my compost. So that's probably what happened. This guy is the cutting off of my mom's, or not my mom's, but the Irish Eyes tomato that my mother gave me last year. And he needs to go in some light. I don't know why my plants are men. It's the only males that can come into my house without my dog having a fit and trying to eat them. Oh, I put that right on top of that little guy. He's okay, though. We're going to put this over here. There we go. Now, a lot of times I get asked by people, why are you saving your creamer containers? These are for my plants. What I do is I fill them at night and I let them, their lids stay open like this for 2 days to get the chlorine off, and then I shut them back up. They're also really great at catching fungus gnats. That's not what they're there for, but that's just the way it is. The thing I have is rainbow radish, is actually rainbow okra. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, okay? You can't see it, but this is what I do with some of the extra lids when I don't save the bottoms, or when I use the bottoms for, like making my compost in place containers and layering. That right there, that is actually the lid, or the bottom to this creamer. And what I've done is I've cut the bottom off, and that's how I'm feeding my worms. That is a vermicompost bin that all these plants are layered on top of. And so, the worms still have to eat. So I cut the bottom off of the creamer container. I'd show you, but I don't have any more creamer containers that I can sacrifice. And then I cut giant slats. They were 1 inch high by 2 inches wide, like across this way, and 1 inch this way. So that when I feed my worms, I don't feed them whole food. I actually put it in my food processor, and I make it into kind of a slushy, or I guess some people call it a slurry, and mix it with water, and then I pour it into that. So I'm not only watering the worm bin, but I'm also feeding them. I'm feeding the bacteria, which of course will make my worms very happy. And I've got some very, very happy worms. I know they're happy because they keep making lots more. And so, this, I believe, is another one of the okra. This right here was a volunteer that sprouted up, and it was really long inside this bucket here, my vermicompost bin, when I had the lid on it. So there was no sun, there was no light, and it kept it was literally a foot long. But as you can tell, its stem is nice and thick, so I don't know how that happened. He's been outside in indirect sunlight all day, so that's why he's resting. He's had 12 hours of sun. That's a gracious plenty for him. Let me look. Okay. I do have some things out there, but, it's my lettuce and my kale, and I have them under kind of like, well, it's a shelf to a plastic bin that broke. So, and usually what I do at night is I'll just cover the plants up that are under there if they're too cold. It's not really supposed to get that cold tonight, but I am going to go ahead and cover it with the blanket in a little bit, just to make sure, even though they're both like cooler weather anyways. I don't wish to press my luck because they all just sprouted. I think it was yesterday I saw some growth coming out of the lettuce, and oh, my glass door needs to be clean. I apologize, that's gross. Anyways, let me get to a clean place, and I'll wash that up in a minute. And then I've got another tall juice container, just like I have the sweet potatoes in. And that's got 4 kale in it. Now, that is not where they're going to stay. I've got a cloth raised garden with 4, I think it's 2 to 3 gallon, compartments. Anyways, that's where those are going to go. However, I want them to get a little bigger before I separate them. And it's still way too cold for them to go out and stay out right now. So, that's why it's like that. This little guy here, that was supposed to be my regular, that's got 2 bags of, potting soil, and I think 1 cocoa core brick mixed with my regular, just my regular compost, not my vermicompost. Until yesterday, I dumped something in there, as you see that right there. I dumped out something that it didn't make it. And I realized after I dumped it out that it had like 20 worms in the bottom of this thing. And there was like 20 worms in the bottom of it. And that's not what killed the plant. They don't eat live matter. The fungus gnat larvae, on the other hand, had a field day with whatever that was. I don't even remember. I think it may have been one of my purple sprouting broccoli. Not really sure, but whatever it was, they got it. Ate the roots. Very devastating. So I pulled out all the fungus gnat larvae, actually the eggs, and dumped them into my, what I like to call my compost juice. I'll show you that tomorrow. That's another video. So I found a bunch of big worms in there, and I guess it was because I did have holes in there because I bottom water. I made slits though. I don't know if you can see the slits. Probably not. Anyways, they're like 1-inch slits. I didn't even open it all the way because I was hoping to keep the worms out of the bin. Or out of the planter. Well, that didn't happen. So, probably every single one of those containers there have at least 1 or 2 worms in them now. Because they've been sitting on there, and that's just what worms do. So, yeah, can't change biology. So, that's the story with that. And now we're going to go over and I'm going to show you the exciting thing I brought in one of my planters earlier. Because I noticed it was dry and I needed to water it. So I brought it in to bottom water it. And it was only one that needed it. Somehow, I guess I missed it yesterday when I did my deep watering. And I'm looking going, what is this weird thing in my planter? Well, let me show you what the weird thing in the planter is. Do you see it? Right there? It's a sprout. It's a little seedling. I'm so excited. It's only one. I planted 2 in there, so who knows. The other one may or may not come up. But I'm really excited about the whole thing. It looks really nice and thick, so that's helpful. It has been outside the last 2 days, so possibly that helped. But what I'm going to do right now, it still looks really dry. I'm going to do the finger test. I'm going to stick my finger all the way down to my knuckle, and he's not dry. So that's good. The bottom down here under this top layer right here that's dry is actually very moist. So that's good. That's what I want. I do not want the moisture to get all the way up. It did on some sides. But I don't want it to get all the way up because of the fungus gnat issue. And I want to keep the fungus gnats off as much as possible. So, we're going to go put him under some lights and let him grow. And I will see you later. Y'all have a good night or good morning or good afternoon, wherever you may be from. And we'll see you next time when we answer the Q on Beyond the Q Kitchen. Have a nice night. Bye.